0, 1.
Let's get started.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andreas, thanks for tuning in. Today I just want to talk about this article that came out from Jay Clark a couple of days ago just in relation to the Bulldogs wanting to play their 100th anniversary game against us. Now, I'm just going to put this out there. This is going to be just a rant, okay? Because I'm of the view of the Collingwood supporters that I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of us having to be the AFL's bank to all these clubs. Now, I'll just go through we all know the big milestone games that we play throughout the year. So we've got obviously the Anzac Day game against Essendon, which is all sweet, that's fine. We've got the Easter Thursday clash at the Gabba against Brisbane. We've got the King's birthday game, the Big Freeze against Melbourne. And now the Bulldogs want to play against us in one of their marquee games of the year. Now, I've got personally absolutely no issue in having marquee games and stuff like that. But the problem that I have is that every single time a club wants to do something, it's always, let's play a home game against Collingwood. Now, what pisses me off the most about this is that last year, we were obviously one of the biggest tenants of the MCG and stuff, and then that deal came in where the Collingwood had to relinquish some of the Ponsford stand in their social club. Now, I'm an AFL member, so it doesn't really affect sort of where I go and stuff, but for the Collingwood supporters, the Legends members and stuff like that sit on that side of the ground. Last year, they lost their areas against Hawthorn and against Richmond. Now, I'm sorry, okay? That was the biggest load of crap. Fair enough, Hawthorn were playing better and they were getting more crowds in and stuff like that, but Hawthorn only rock up when they're playing good, okay? Let's just be honest. Same thing goes for Richmond. They've won 3 flags in 10 years, okay? So if you've won 3 flags in 10 years, or within a 9-10 year period, surely you would still rock up to games, regardless if you're playing crap and you're finishing towards the bottom of the ladder, you'd still come. They can't even open half the time the top deck of the MCG. Right? Now, we had to move our supporters to the other end of the ground, okay? Now we've got another club that's turning around saying, we want to play a home game against Collingwood for the thing. Look, I don't understand why it's always us that have to be the ones that, so now we're going to have, so the game basically against Bulldogs this year potentially could have been our home game, regardless if it was at Marvel or at the G. Now Bulldogs are saying that they want it. That's fine. Give it to them. But why is it that every single time a club wants to turn around and have a marquee game, it's always against us? I'll tell you why. We are the AFL's bank. And it's frustrating because now the way that the MCG is set up, we're going to lose another section of our social club and stuff where our supporters have to move to other ends of the ground, right? Because another team's playing a home game. They might turn around and they might say, no, that's okay, you can have that area, but it's not going to happen, right? And I just think it's completely and utterly unfair that the club has to do that because everyone wants to play home games against us. Every single week that we play against a team that's away, right? So it's our away game, whether it's interstate or whatever, we draw the biggest crowds. We make money for everybody else. And I'm at the point now where it's like, fuck, surely the AFL can give us something back. Like, give us the Bulldogs at the G 1 year. Give us fucking Richmond twice. Give us St Kilda twice. Give us Gold Coast twice. Give us North Melbourne twice. I mean, come on. I mean, North Melbourne, I don't know if people know this, but last year they played 1 game at the MCG. They are a Melbourne-based club. They played 1 game at the MCG, and that was against Melbourne, and it was their away game. it's annoying that everyone wants, it's Collingwood, let's play against Collingwood, this, that. But then the first to fucking crack the shits if we get any sort of, not handouts or any sort of benefits about our members or where they're sitting and that type of stuff. It's just, I'm not a fan of it personally, and this part of the video is just a rant. I think it's bullshit. If you want to play a home game against us, that's fine. You want to play your anniversary game against us, that's fine. But give us something back in return, because I'm sick of all these blockbuster games happening against Collingwood and us not making any money from it. I'm pretty sure Anzac Day the profits are split after everything, which is fine, regardless of whose home game it is or whatever. But it's not fair, and we need to get something back in return. It's also just come out today, I think Mitch Cleary's tweeted it, that Tim Membrey passed his medical for Collingwood. So it looks like that he will 110% be joining us on November the 1st as delisted free agent. And then we pretty much might pick up another person, whether it's Jack Hayes, whether it could be, I don't know, anybody really that they want. Tomlinson. I haven't really heard too much developments from that side of things, so we're going to have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Tim Membrey's coming to Collingwood, and I've said this before, I think the dynamic that he brings now to the forward line and the pressure that it relieves off a lot of our forwards, it's going to make them play a lot freer. I think we're going to see a big season from Jamie Elliott. And also with like the Houston and Perryman side of things too, I'm getting the feel that Jordan De Goey might actually have a bit more time in the forward line, like rotating through, and another forward then goes and plays in the midfield. I'm getting that sort of feeling, but could be wrong. Who knows? I'm going to post a best 23 fairly soon, not in this video, but I just wanted to wait until we had some confirmation that Membrey was pretty much going to join. It looks as if it does. I just don't want to post a video and then all of a sudden he doesn't come for whatever reason, but it looks as if that's happening. So I'm going to work on that and make sure my 23 is all done, and then I'll post a video on that one there for everyone to see. There hasn't really been much more updates in regards to our picks and stuff like that going into the draft as of yet, which I don't think we're going to see until closer to the draft or on draft night. I've got a real good feeling that we're going to try and trade something to get a higher pick. And we don't really have much to trade with, but I'm assuming that even with the bids and stuff like that are going to happen, we are going to try and get up a little bit higher. I really think they are going to try and get Sims from the Northern Knights. It's going to be a deep draft, and I was watching a phantom draft last night that Pominos was doing, and I mean we're getting down to like the end of the 30s, and there's still guys in there that could potentially go even higher. So I think it all depends on when these bids and stuff like that are going to come in, but it'd be in Collingwood's favour if these bids come around middle of the first round. So then other clubs that are just above us, where we have our first pick, everything then gets pushed up so we can try and get the players that we're after or the players that we're looking at. It's going to be a deep draft. So I really don't think, even with the picks that we've got, we're going to be missing out or anything like that. It's going to be hot. Obviously, Richmond have got the best draft handle, and that's fine. Well done to them. But I still think we can sneak a gem in this year's draft, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. And if they can trade up, even better. That's all from me for today. There's not really much else that's happening. We obviously get the Membrey sort of side of things, as that article from Jay Clark that we spoke about. But look, drop a comment. If there's anything else that you guys want to hear about or talk about, leave it in the comments. Call it as you see it. And as always, K the Pies.